My dear seniors, I want you to reflect on something very simple, yet very powerful. Long before prescriptions existed, before pharmacies stood on every corner, the human body survived, adapted, and even healed itself through what nature provided. Today, we live in a time where medication is necessary and often life-saving, but we must not forget that the foundation of our health still rests on the small, daily choices we make, especially food we place on our plates. High blood pressure does not suddenly appear overnight. It builds quietly, gradually, influenced by years of habits. What we eat, how we move, how we rest, and even how we worry. And just as it develops over time, it can also be gently influenced, managed, and in some cases improved through consistent, mindful nourishment. This is where the power of nature comes in, not as a replacement for your doctor's care, but as a strong, reliable partner. You see, certain foods contain natural compounds that work in ways remarkably similar to what we call beta blockers. Now, I'm not asking you to memorize medical terms, but let me explain it in a way that makes sense. Beta blockers, as many of you may know, help to reduce the workload on the heart. They slow down the heart rate, relax the blood vessels, and allow blood to flow more smoothly. This reduces pressure within the arteries, easing the strain on your heart. Interestingly, nature has already provided us with foods that support these same processes. When you eat foods rich in potassium, for example, you help your body balance sodium levels. Too much sodium tightens blood vessels and raises pressure. But potassium helps relax those vessels, allowing blood to move more freely. In simple terms, it tells your blood vessels, calm down, there's no need to stay tense. Then there are foods high in antioxidants. These protect your blood vessels from damage. Over time, your arteries can become stiff and less flexible, which contributes to high blood pressure. Antioxidants act like a protective shield, helping to keep those vessels soft, responsive, and open. When your blood vessels are healthy, your heart does not have to struggle as much to push blood through them. Let us not forget fiber, another quiet hero. Foods rich in fiber help to regulate cholesterol levels and improve overall circulation. When your blood flows more smoothly, pressure naturally decreases. It is like clearing a congested road. Traffic begins to move again, and everything becomes less stressful. Now, I want you to notice something important. None of these foods work instantly. They are not like a pill you take today and feel the effect tomorrow. Their strength lies in consistency. They work gently, steadily, and cumulatively. This is a different kind of power, one that builds over time, reinforcing your body's natural ability to maintain balance. And this is where many people underestimate the role of food. They think it's just a meal, or it won't make much difference. But I tell you, every meal is a message to your body. Every bite you take is either helping your blood vessels relax or encouraging them to tighten. There is no neutral ground. Your body is always responding. Think of your plate as a form of daily therapy. Not something complicated or expensive, but something intentional. When you choose foods that support your heart, you are actively participating in your own care. You are not just depending on external treatment. You are becoming part of the solution. Now, I also understand that change is not always easy, especially when habits have been built over many years. You may be used to certain tastes, certain routines, certain comforts, and I am not here to take those away from you completely. Rather, I am asking you to begin a shift, a gradual, realistic adjustment that prioritizes your health without overwhelming you. Start small, be mindful, pay attention to how your body feels when you eat differently. You may begin to notice subtle changes, less heaviness, more energy, a calmer heartbeat. These are not coincidences. These are signals that your body is responding positively, It is also important to understand that stress plays a role in blood pressure. And interestingly, the act of eating well can also influence your mental and emotional state. When your body receives proper nourishment, it functions more efficiently, and even your mood can improve. A calmer mind supports a calmer heart. So when we talk about the power of nature over pressure, we are not speaking in abstract terms. We are speaking about real, measurable effects that begin with something as simple as your next meal. You are not powerless in this journey. You have tools within your reach every single day. And I want you to carry this understanding with you. Your plate is not just a place for food. It is a place for healing, for balance, and for renewal. Each time you sit down to eat, you are making a choice that your heart will remember. Choose wisely, and your body will respond in ways that medicine alone cannot achieve. Now, let us move a little deeper into something very practical, something you can begin to apply the moment you leave here, because understanding is important, but application is what truly changes outcomes. It is one thing to know that food can support your blood pressure, but it is another to clearly recognize which foods can do this and how they quietly work within your body. There are 5 everyday foods I want you to become very familiar with: leafy greens, bananas, berries, oats, and fatty fish. These are not exotic or difficult to find. They are simple, accessible, and yet incredibly powerful when used consistently. What makes them remarkable is not just their nutritional value, but how they interact with your body in ways that directly support heart function and blood pressure control. Let us begin with leafy greens. Foods like spinach, kale, and similar vegetables are rich in potassium, and potassium plays a crucial role in balancing the effects of sodium in your body. Many of us, over the years, have consumed more salt than our bodies truly need. This excess sodium causes the body to retain water, increasing pressure within the blood vessels. Leafy greens help counteract this by encouraging the body to release that excess sodium. As this happens, your blood vessels begin to relax, and the pressure within them starts to ease. It is a quiet correction, but a very important one. Then we have bananas, simple, familiar, and often underestimated. Like leafy greens, they are also rich in potassium, but they offer an added advantage: convenience. A banana does not require preparation. It fits easily into your daily routine. And sometimes, the most effective health habits are the ones that are easiest to maintain. By regularly including potassium-rich foods like bananas, you are giving your body the tools it needs to maintain a healthier balance without stress or complication. Now, let us talk about berries. These small fruits, whether strawberries, blueberries, or others, are packed with antioxidants. And antioxidants, my dear seniors, are essential for protecting your blood vessels. Over time, your arteries can become damaged due to factors like poor diet, stress, and aging. This damage makes them less flexible, and when blood vessels lose their flexibility, pressure naturally increases. Berries help to protect and even improve the function of these vessels. They support elasticity, allowing blood to flow more freely. It is like restoring softness to something that has become stiff over time. Next, consider oats. Many people think of oats as just a breakfast option, something light and ordinary. But in reality, oats are a powerful source of soluble fiber, which plays a key role in reducing cholesterol levels. Now you may wonder, what does cholesterol have to do with blood pressure? The answer is quite simple. When cholesterol builds up in your arteries, it narrows the space through which blood can flow. This creates resistance, and resistance increases pressure. By helping to lower cholesterol, oats effectively create a clearer pathway for blood, reducing strain on the heart. Finally, let us look at fatty fish, such as those rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats are known to reduce inflammation in the body, and inflammation is one of the hidden contributors to high blood pressure. When your blood vessels are inflamed, they become less efficient, less responsive, and more prone to constriction. Omega-3s help calm this inflammation, supporting smoother and more stable blood flow. In addition, they can help regulate heart rhythm, providing another layer of support for cardiovascular health. Now, I want you to notice something very important. Each of these foods works in a slightly different way. One supports sodium balance, another protects blood vessels, another reduces cholesterol, and another calms inflammation. But when you combine them, when they become part of your regular diet, their effects are not isolated, they are cumulative. They work together, reinforcing each other, creating a stronger overall impact. This is why I refer to them as everyday foods with medicinal impact. Not because they replace medicine, but because they behave in ways that support the same systems within your body. They assist, they strengthen, and they help your body function more efficiently. However, there is a mindset shift that must happen here. You must begin to see food not just as something that fills you, but as something that serves you. Every meal becomes an opportunity to nourish, to repair, and to support your heart. This does not require perfection. It requires awareness and intention. You do not need to eat all 5 of these foods in one day. That is not the goal. The goal is balance over time. Perhaps you include oats in the morning, add some leafy greens to your lunch, enjoy fruit as a snack, and have fish a few times a week. These are small adjustments, but when practiced consistently, they create meaningful change. And let me be clear about something: these foods are most effective when they replace less helpful options. It is not just about adding good foods. It is also about reducing those that contribute to the problem. Highly processed foods, excessive salt, and unhealthy fats work against your body. When you begin to shift your choices even gradually, you create an environment where healing becomes more possible. I also want you to approach this with patience. Your body has taken years to reach its current state, and it will take time to respond to change. But do not be discouraged by that. Progress is not always dramatic. It is often subtle, steady, and deeply meaningful. As you begin to incorporate these foods into your daily life, remember that you are not just eating. You are making a long-term investment in your health. You are supporting your heart, protecting your blood vessels, and reducing the strain on your system in a way that is natural, sustainable, and deeply effective. And over time, these small, consistent choices will speak louder than any single intervention ever could. Let your daily meals become your quiet, steady medicine. Now, as we continue this conversation, I want to gently bring your attention to something that is often overlooked, yet it holds tremendous power in your journey toward better health. It is not just what you eat, but how often, how consistently, and how faithfully you maintain those choices over time. Because the truth is, the body does not respond to occasional effort, it responds to patterns. Many people believe that making a big change once in a while is enough. They may eat very well for a day or two, perhaps after a medical appointment or a moment of concern, and then slowly return to old habits. But your body does not measure effort in isolated moments. It measures what you do repeatedly. It adapts to what you give it consistently. Think of your body as something that learns from you. Every day, through your actions, you are teaching it what to expect. If your meals are unpredictable, sometimes healthy, sometimes not, your body struggles to find balance. But when your choices become steady, when your meals begin to follow a healthier rhythm, your body starts to adjust. It begins to trust that it will receive what it needs, and in response, it functions more efficiently. This is especially important when it comes to blood pressure. You see, Blood pressure is not something that changes dramatically in a single moment based on one meal. It is influenced by long-term behavior. It reflects how your body has been treated over days, weeks, months, and even years. So, if we want to improve it, we must also think in terms of time and consistency. Let me make this very simple for you. Eating a bowl of oats once will not lower your blood pressure in a meaningful way. Eating oats regularly, as part of your routine, begins to create change. Having vegetables once in a while will not make a difference, but including them daily starts to shift how your body processes nutrients, manages sodium, and supports your blood vessels. Consistency, my dear seniors, is where the real transformation happens. It is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is quiet, steady, and often unnoticed in the beginning. But over time, it builds something very powerful. Now, I understand that consistency can feel challenging. Life has its routines, its preferences, and sometimes its limitations. You may have eaten a certain way for many years. Changing that overnight is neither realistic nor necessary. What matters is not perfection, it is persistence. Start with small, manageable steps. Do not overwhelm yourself by trying to change everything at once. Perhaps you begin with your mornings. You introduce a simple, heart-friendly breakfast, something that supports your body rather than burdens it. Once that becomes comfortable, you move to another part of your day. Maybe lunch becomes a little lighter, a little more balanced. Over time, these small shifts begin to connect, forming a pattern. And here is something very important to remember. Habits are built through repetition, not motivation. There will be days when you feel motivated, and there will be days when you do not. That is natural. But consistency does not depend on how you feel. It depends on what you choose to do, even on the days when it feels inconvenient. Your body does not need occasional excellence. It needs reliable care. I also want you to be patient with yourself. Sometimes, people expect immediate results, and when they do not see them, they become discouraged. They think, perhaps this is not working, or maybe it is too late for me. But that is not true. The body responds in its own time, and often the most meaningful changes happen gradually, beneath the surface, before they become visible. You may not see a difference in a week, but that does not mean change is not happening. Your blood vessels may already be relaxing a little more. Your heart may already be experiencing less strain. Your system may already be moving toward balance. These are quiet improvements, but they matter. Another thing I want you to consider is the role of routine. When you create a routine around your meals, consistency becomes easier. You do not have to think too much or make new decisions every day. Your healthy choices become part of your lifestyle, something you do naturally rather than something you struggle to maintain. And let me say this clearly, consistency does not mean rigidity. It does not mean you can never enjoy your favorite foods again. It simply means that the foundation of your diet supports your health. Occasional flexibility is acceptable, but it should not become the norm. The structure you build is what protects you. Over time, these consistent habits begin to influence more than just your blood pressure. They improve your energy levels, your digestion, your overall sense of well-being. You begin to feel the difference, not just measure it. And that feeling becomes its own form of encouragement. What you are doing, step by step, is retraining your body. You are guiding it back toward a state of balance, giving it the support it needs to function the way it was designed to. And this process does not require extreme effort. It requires steady commitment. So, as you leave here and return to your daily life, I want you to carry this understanding with you. Do not focus on doing something extraordinary once in a while. Focus on doing something beneficial every day, even if it seems small. Because in the end, it is not the intensity of your effort that determines your health. It is the consistency of your choices. Small, steady habits will shape a stronger, healthier heart over time. As we come to this final part of our discussion, I want to speak to you with clarity and honesty, because this is where balance becomes very important. Everything we have talked about, the power of food, the role of specific nutrients, the importance of consistency, these are all meaningful and effective tools. But they must be understood in the right context, so that they help you, not mislead you. There is a common misunderstanding that once we begin to eat better, once we introduce these supportive foods into our daily routine, we no longer need medical treatment. And I must gently but firmly guide you away from that thinking. Food is powerful, yes, but it is not a replacement for prescribed medication, especially when it comes to managing conditions like high blood pressure. Your doctor has prescribed medication based on careful evaluation, your medical history, your current condition, and the specific needs of your body. These medications are designed to act in precise and controlled ways, often working quickly to reduce risk and protect vital organs such as your heart, brain, and kidneys. They are not given lightly, and they serve an important purpose. What we are doing through nutrition is not replacing that care. We are strengthening it. We are supporting your body in a way that complements your treatment, making it more effective, and, in many cases, helping to reduce additional strain on your system. Think of it this way. Medication works from the outside in, while food works from the inside out. Medication helps to manage symptoms and control immediate risk, while food helps to improve the environment within your body, the very environment that influences how those symptoms develop in first place. When these two approaches are combined, proper medical care and consistent, thoughtful nutrition, you create a much stronger foundation for your health. You are not relying on one method alone. You are building a partnership between science and lifestyle. Now, it is also important to understand that any adjustments to medication should only be made under medical supervision. As your body begins to respond to healthier habits, as your blood pressure improves, your doctor may decide to review your treatment plan. In some cases, dosages may be adjusted, but this is a decision that must be made carefully, based on evidence and monitoring. Taking matters into your own hands without guidance can be risky. Blood pressure is often called a silent condition, because it does not always show obvious symptoms, even when it is high. You may feel fine and assume that everything is under control, when in reality, your body still needs support. This is why regular checkups and communication with your healthcare provider are so important. At the same time, I want you to feel encouraged, not restricted. Because while medication plays its role, you are not passive in this process. You are not simply waiting for treatment to work. Through your daily choices, you are actively contributing to your own well-being. Every healthy meal you eat, every time you choose a nourishing option over a harmful one, you are making your body's job easier. You are supporting your heart, easing the pressure within your blood vessels, and creating conditions that allow your treatment to work more effectively. And there is something else I want you to consider. When you take responsibility for your lifestyle, you gain a sense of control. Health no longer feels like something that is happening to you, but something you are actively shaping. This shift in mindset is powerful. It changes how you approach your daily life, how you make decisions, and how you view your future. You begin to understand that while you may not control everything, there is still so much within your reach. Your meals, your habits, your routines, these are areas where your choices matter deeply. Now, let me also address a subtle but important point. Some people may feel discouraged when they hear that food alone is not enough. They may think, then what is the point? But that is not the right way to see it. The value of these changes is not diminished simply because they are part of a larger approach. In fact, their value is increased because they work alongside other forms of care. It is not about choosing between food and medication. It is about allowing them to work together in harmony. Over time, as you continue with this balanced approach, you may begin to notice improvements not just in your blood pressure readings, but in how you feel overall. You may have more energy, better focus, and a greater sense of stability in your health. These are signs that your body is responding positively. And even if progress feels slow at times, remember that you are building something lasting. You are not chasing quick results. You are creating sustainable health. So, as you move forward, carry this understanding with confidence. Respect your medical treatment, stay connected with your doctor, and at the same time honor the role that nutrition plays in your life. Do not underestimate it, and do not misuse it. Use it wisely, consistently, and in partnership with the care you receive. Because true strength in health does not come from one solution alone. It comes from the balance of many working together.